War sucks. That's an understatement. Most of the time, it doesn't do anybody any good, and it's very, very horrible. Now, with that being said, fighter jets are very cool. One might even say the coolest vehicles ever. What about race cars? Nobody asked you, Jonathan. God. So there's a lot when it comes to fighter jets. So I'm just going to focus on the most popular American ones. So let's start with the ever so classic Mr. Top Gun itself, the F-14 Tomcat. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't that the one with the variable sweep wings? And yes, it is the one with the variable sweep wings. And these wings are good for two things. 1, to save space on a carrier. 2, this means slow and maneuverable. This means fast, maybe even more fast than... Yup, you guessed it, faster than sound. This baby is capable of Mach 2.3. And that's not all. It also had a pretty good radar for the time, the AWG-9, which was able to guide multiple air-to-air missiles at the same time and detect enemies at long range. However, before moving on, it is worth noting that the F-14 has been out of service since 2006, and the only country that still uses it is Iran. So as you might guess, based on the title, I've kind of been getting into fighter jets, and this also means I've been getting into the aviation community, and everybody there seems to agree on one thing. Pickles are good. The F-15 is the most badass plane ever, so I'm gonna just tell you why it's badass. So this thing has enough thrust to break the sound barrier vertically, and due to its thrust to weight ratio of 1.1, bitch doesn't even need wings to fly. It's basically a rocket, and I'm not just saying this. An F-15 once lost a wing mid-flight, proceeded to keep flying for 16 kilometers and landed safely. Also, it has a KD of 104 to 0, which means it's never been shot down. It's the only aircraft that went to space and shot down a satellite, and it's the only jet that has hit a moving helicopter with a bomb. Not a missile. F-18, the other Top Gun. Now, the F-18 is the go-to carrier fighter because it has foldable wings to save space, and since carrier landings can be a bit rough, it has a strong airframe and a double-thick landing gear. Furthermore, like the other two jets I mentioned, it has what one would call multi-role capability, which means it can just do a bunch of stuff, like air superiority, which basically just means it can be superior to anything else in the sky, ground attacks, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare. And finally, this plane can carry a lot of weapons. Now, I'm sure you might know the next one for being very good at killing balloons. The F-22 Raptor. So the F-22 is an air superiority fighter like the F-15 was, except for that the F-22 is still superior to literally anything. Cause number 1, stealth. So the combination of radar absorbing materials, an internal weapons bay, and a carefully designed shape caused this thing to have a radar cross section of a bee.
Is that the Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor?
It wasn't a bee. Cause number 2, maneuverability. So the F-22 can seriously move, not only thanks to its aerodynamic design, but also due to thrust vectoring. Oh yeah. And that's not the only thing these engines can do. The F-22 can which means it can travel at supersonic speeds without afterburner. And there's a bunch of other stuff that makes the F-22 and all the other planes I mentioned very good at, destroying stuff, I guess. But I really don't feel like researching anymore, so if you want to learn more, I suggest you go watch somebody else's video. But if you did enjoy this one, make sure to subscribe and like. I prefer subscribing though, because that number makes me happier for some reason. And then leave a comment. I do read those, and I'm sorry for not posting for so long. I do have to still focus on school and stuff, but I'll try to do better next time. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.